Hello, Hobby Club friends and family. Good to see everybody here. Today, I appear to be alone, but once again, I promise I'm not. Before we get to our dear friend Cire, a reminder, if you're watching the show for the first time, consider a like and subscribe. Give us like 2 minutes to woo you. Here we go. The wooing begins right now. Cire, how's it going?
Are you wooed?
Are you wooed?
Are you wooed yet?
Look at Cire with his nice background, the lights, everything. This is great. Yeah. Cire, I titled today's stream Darkoath, the coolest part to Slaves to Darkness. That's my opinion. Talk to us, Cire. Is Darkoath the coolest part? How do you rank Darkoath in the coolness of all the Slaves to Darkness stuff?
I mean, they're theoretically very cool. It's just a shame no one's ever going to play them.
Okay, and this is kind of one of our topics today. We want to say, why does GW make really cool things and then be like, hey, don't play it? And then why does GW not make really cool things that we want to play? And we're going to talk about some of those.
I guess we'll talk about that later, or we can talk about that now.
Actually, let's do this. Let's jump in and talk about hobby-wise, because while we have these intellectual conversations, we also hobby. So tell us, I'm going to jump right here. Boom.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait. Boom. There. It's
Boom.
all you.
Oh,
What
yeah.
are we doing today?
All right, so we're going to be doing some base coding for our Darkoath army. So, it's a lot to paint. There's a lot to paint on these models, and we have about 80 of them. It's 60 Savagers, 60 Marauders, and then, or whatever they're called. And then 20 Savagers, which are like the elite version of the Darkoath. They're basically the same. They just get 5-up crit mortals, which is pretty good.
Kind of great.
Sorry, not 5-up crit mortals. Not 5-up crit mortals. They get crit mortals. They're a unit of 10, but you can't reinforce them. So whatever.
Okay.
But they're not terrible.
No, I mean on a unit of 10, and then they have 2 attacks each.
Yeah. I think that's right.
Yeah, that's 3 or 4 mortal wounds before anything else is started. I mean, that's a good impact hit.
Yeah, exactly. It does almost as much damage as one of those random 2-up D3 things. It's almost as
but
good as
it's
that.
not. But it's better than that because it's not. It's less random.
I guess you're right in that.
Kind of.
Anyway.
I don't know. Let's talk about this for the rest of the stream.
Yeah, let's just talk about math that I can't do in my head.
Like math that involves the numbers 1 to 3.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so what I'm doing is we're going to be base coding. Zach and I had to coordinate on paints. I had an idea of what I wanted, a way I wanted to paint them. It turns out Zach doesn't have those colors. So what we're doing is we're going to be painting some Incubi Darkness on the loincloths and some of the cloth. Mostly just base coding today, just to try and get these, in a state to be playable, and then, potentially, made nicer in the future.
Okay, nice. So, that's what yours look like. So do I have the Savagers, or do we have different things? What do we?
No, we both have the basic troops.
Okay, basic troops. Wow, I didn't realize
you.
I don't think I realized you were doing 60 and then 20. I thought you were doing 40 and then 20.
Yeah.
But you know me, dude. I'm into it. Like I told you, if I was gonna now play, weirdly, I have a Slaves of Darkness army. If I was gonna go back and play Slaves of Darkness, I would just do Darkoath Horde. Honestly, I would do Darkoath Horde with like a few units of the ogres.
Oh, the ogre, the Therodons?
The Therodons. Dude, wait, Cire, speaking of which, we like to go on tangents. Did you read about their lore at all?
Yeah, they're like, oh, we're smart, but like Archeon said he's going to beat us up if we don't join him, so I guess we'll join him.
Well,
and everyone thinks we're monsters, but we're not actually.
So they are, it's super interesting. Okay, so how they started off is in kind of like they are like kin with real ogres.
Uh-huh.
And real ogres are like stupid and just eat and like aren't very ambitious.
Right.
And Therodons like hate it they hated their like kin, but they always had to kind of like work with them and deal with them. And then like so basically to like get a level up on them on real ogres, they like made this pact with chaos.
Interesting.
Yeah, they have like this like really screwed up relationship actually with real ogres. It the game is shied away. Real ogres. The game is shied away, I think, wisely from like rules that are like, oh, if you fight something with the ogre keyword, get blah blah blah. But like they probably would have like hatred ogres or something if such a rule still existed. They're like super
anti-ogre.
They're super like they have like a bitter relationship with ogres. It's kind of interesting.
Are the ogres aware of this, or are they?
No, kind of I don't think. I don't. Listen, I play an ogre army. I've never read it in any ogre lore.
That's great. These guys are just angry at them, and they're not even aware of it.
I don't think real ogres care. I don't think real ogres care if somebody's angry at them or not.
Yeah, they're like, we got to keep walking away from this blizzard. We don't really have time.
That's Beastclaw Raiders.
Yeah, that's only one faction.
Beastclaw Raiders are weirdly like the smartest of real ogres, at least kind of. They're not as comical and idiotic as ogre empires, to be honest with you. So they might, if anyone would remember the relationship with Therodons, it would probably be Beastclaw Raiders. Plus, they're all like they're very mystical. Like really bad '90s cliche how Native Americans are depicted in movies, where they're always like full of wisdom and stuff. And everything. That's how Beastclaw Raiders are depicted in lore. There's like whenever because ogres in ogre kingdoms, aka Gutbusters, and Beastclaw Raiders, they get along fine. But it's just like it's funny. There's all this lore where like the Gutbusters think they're weird. They're like, oh crap, here come the weird these weird dudes from the woods.
Oh god, they're gonna come over here.
Yeah,
they're gonna come lecture us.
Oh god, oh maybe they don't see us. And then they like come over and they like do like weird wisdom stuff. Like in the one like this ogre camp that these piece of lore I read, the Maul tribes were just like they finished a battle. They have all this food, but their forces are totally depleted, and so they're eating. They're like, cool, we got food, but we're like there's like 12 ogres left or something. And then out of nowhere, the Beastclaw Raiders show up, and they're like, "Oh, we're screwed. These guys are gonna murder us, or they're gonna do." And the Beastclaw Raider, like the Frost Lord, just like gets up off his stone horn, walks down, sits down by the food, and the ogre starts to be like, the Maul tribe leader is like, "Oh, we just finished a battle or whatever," and the Frost Lord's like, better to talk after food." and then he just sits there and waits for them to feed all the ogre, his whole tribe. It's kind of funny.
At least they have that in common.
Just eating.
Yeah.
Yeah, eating is king. Just Okay. I am right now doing the Incubi Darkness. I'm glad you picked this color. I love this color.
It's a good color. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. I was asking chat, like, what do they think is what's something they think GW? What are you convinced they don't actually want you to play with?
Yes, good question. Also, the poll is what is for the poll. I specifically went 40K. I said, what's something people ask for in Warhammer 40,000 that you want to see the most? So I was in our hobby hang in our Discord today with a few of our super awesome, honestly, friends. We call them friends. We know them so well at this point, even though we've met them through here. And everybody, it was like Cire, it was like Rashawn and Orange and Liberty, I think, were in there.
The usual suspects.
Some of the usual suspects. And they were all just kept naming things. No, not Liberty, but Orange and Rashawn just kept naming things they want to see. I was like, no, guys, nobody has asked for that. And they were like naming cool things, but I'm like, that's cool, but nobody's ever asked for that. So, we only have a few votes right now. but it's split. One third, one third, one third. So here are the
Okay.
options I gave: Eldar Exodites, more Imperial Guard styles in plastic. If you're not sure what I mean by that, we've got Cadians in plastic, and we've got,
Yes.
I believe, Catachans in plastic, right?
Well, technically,
kind-
yes, but they're very old, and we have Deathcore of Krieg, but it's not a full range.
It's 10 models, right?
It's a kill team.
It's a kill team. So, what do you want to see get a full do you want to see a full IG release for whatever? Like, oh, I want to see full IG release for Talaran, that like plastic Talaran, or I want to see
Classic Tarja.
plastic
Mordians.
plastic Mordians, plastic Elysians, like whatever, right? Or do you want to see more Primarchs? Is the rate of Primarchs too low for you? Listen, there's 6 votes in chat, and there's more than twice of you that in the room right now. Please vote. Like, vote on this. This is super important. We need to know how you think. Not as an individual, of course,
Yeah, but as a group.
but as a group. What of these would you vote for, Sarai?
I don't really care about Primarchs. I only care about my own Primarch, so like that probably doesn't count, right?
Well, no, I mean that could be it. I mean, Vulcan is like very much, he's missing, so
He's just chilling.
that means he's probably still alive.
I'm gonna say more IG styles in plastic.
Okay, what IG
I
style
want-
plastic do you most want to see next?
I want to see something completely new.
Yeah, Okay, let me. I'm gonna put you on the chopping block to say what that looks like. But I'm before you do, I'm gonna say that I think that they could remake a lot of the current ones super cool.
Oh yeah.
So Talaran for sure. Like I picked up. I brought this up to people who knew me back when I was on Titans. I bought a few boxes of the Ash Waste guys back when I played 40K with the intention of doing a Talaran Guard army that uses the Ash Waste guys.
Yeah,
if
the sand fleas.
Yeah, if Talaran came out and they had some kind of more, they didn't just look like straight. I mean, quite frankly, right now they look like the metal models that exist. I mean, they really do look like Brits in the 80s watched Lawrence of Arabia and were like, all right, let's base it off that, right? Like, which is
that's
probably what happened, right?
Yeah. A little caricature, maybe caricatures.
Oh,
More than
this one you just painted, I just painted. You gave me 2 of her.
okay. Yeah.
Mine were girls.
Yeah, this is a woman. She's shaved her head.
Okay, shaved her head. Okay, yeah, I painted 2. Those are the first 2 I just knocked out.
Yeah. Nice big cloak to start with.
Big cloak, standard bearer person. Yeah. Saray, so I'm gonna think about my answer. You want to see something totally new? What I was gonna say is, I know people think Steel Legion's cool. I guess I think they're cool too. I kind of think Elysians are cool.
Yeah.
But some of the other ones are kind of not that cool. Talaran models and like just the style, and I don't know. I need to see them looking super cool to be into them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm picturing a modern range refresh.
The one that's based off, I found out the other day, based off Prussians or something.
Oh yeah.
Mordians, or what are they called?
There's Mordian who are like, they're somewhere between. They look like they're in dress uniforms, right?
Yeah, kind of dumb. And then there's Vostroyans who, also I feel like, I don't know, kind of dumb. But all of them could be made to look cooler.
Yeah, I appreciate how dumb they are. Yes.
What do you want to see? What do you want to see?
All right, so I didn't have I didn't have anything in mind because I didn't know what this poll was. But now I'm trying to think of it. Okay, so let's think of biomes. And I think the one I don't think that there's a current regiment for is a regiment that is focused on urban warfare. Is there one?
No.
I mean, you got Catachantur Jungle. You have Deathcore Krieg, who are like trench warfare. You have Mordians, who are
Elysian.
like, let's stand out in the middle of nowhere and get shot at. Elysians and Harkoni Warhawks are airborne.
Mm-hmm.
I think also, by the way, I would take the Harkoni Warhawks over Elysians. They're like a heavy. They're like the same thing, but they wear slightly heavier armor.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think a city urban warfare specialist regiment would be cool.
Okay. I see it. My vote in this poll would be Eldar Exodites.
Oh, really?
Eldar Exodites. Listen, the reality is, I hate to say this, I'm a very focused man on what I'm doing, and what I'm doing right now is AOS and hobbying, and I'm not 40k. So to tell you that Exodites would pull me back into 40k is wrong, because frankly, Kroot and Vespid are two of my favorite things, and they did not pull me back into 40k. Although when I go back to 40k one day, I'm super excited for it. I hope to be super excited for Eldar Exodites as well. I don't think they'd pull me back into 40k, but man, I when I built my Assyriani army, I picked the faction that was kind of closest to Exodites or had the closest relationship to Exodites, which is Saim Han. So I sort of like the elves who are a little more wild, a little more like off doing their own thing. But
yeah,
I
think it's fascinating that Exodites. Okay, you know how everything is. We basically have fantasy versions of everything, right? So you have your fantasy elf, fantasy high elves, fantasy dark elves, but they're in 40k. So you've got your Assyriana, your your high elves, your Drukhari, your dark elves. We don't have any wood elves. Where are future wood elves?
People historically have said that they thought that Tau were like the stand-in for them.
Oh, really? I feel
that's forever ago. So I played neither fantasy in the 2000s in the noughties nor 40k. No, I started playing 40k at the end of the noughties, 2008. But I did not play. But that's what I read. I read that they always were like the two races there's no equivalent of, lore-wise, are Tyranids and Tau. But they're like, but people always say Tau are like wood elves. So I don't know if that's true or not.
I mean, I guess maybe play-wise.
Those are the two factions Brett plays in Old World.
I'm gonna say, but like aesthetically, they literally can't get farther from each other. You have the high tech versus the low tech.
Well, you do.
It's a very different. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, Kroot I could see as the wood elves.
I mean, Kroot are pretty much wood elves. Yeah.
Yeah, even with the cannibal stuff too. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of there. I kind of see it, and then I think they just more so meant that I guess in fantasy battles back in the day, and I think even still today in the relaunch, wood elves are one of the better shooting armies.
I see.
Yeah, is kind of another element to it.
Yeah, I mean they have the whole jump, like shoot and mobility stuff.
Yeah.
I say thematically GSC are closer with the whole like ambush tactics.
Yeah, I mean that's another element of wood elves, but Kroot have that stuff too, dude. I mean, like that's sort of the Kroot. That's like kind of the Kroot stuff as well.
Okay.
It's looking good.
Did you paint her shirt?
I did. Okay. Mine are further along than yours, as in you handed me models that you had gone further along in, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Yeah, the skin and stuff is done. Well, we won't be here Cire for a second, but I can show you guys that. This is where Cire gave me models that are right here. This is kind of where they're at. I'm not kind of where they're at. This is exactly where they're at. So it's a little zoomed in too much. There we go. So you can see here that they are just like a little farther. He's got the skin. So you can kind of see he has a few different skin tones going on though, so you'll be able to see that, but that's where they're at. Okay. All right, so I was just showing people where the ones you
Yeah.
you gave me are at. What? So sorry. I said that you have a few different skin tones going on here, and it looks like you kind of slightly do.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've got like basically light to dark skin. I haven't and a couple of so I have a dark skin, pale skin, and then like two medium tones.
Got it.
Uh,
So you have the traditional, as we like to
80s
say, 80s crime cities.
80s gang members.
In the
80s crime crew.
in the 80s, in a big city like L.A. or New York, the gangs are multi-ethnic.
The gangs run rampant, are extremely violent, but they're not racist.
That actually was that probably was true. I imagine to some degree that there was truth to that. Listen, before we get any further, because we're about to go down one of our favorite topics, although I think that was it. We're done. A big thanks to Soups, as always, our dear friend Soups, a
Thanks,
mod,
Soups.
a friend, an awesome supporter, for gifting a Hobby Collab membership. We always appreciate that. And thank you to Rudy Picardo also for gifting 5 Hobby Collab memberships. Rudy's been awesome, big supporter of the channel, has sent us some cool stuff, has kept us supplied with some great stuff.
Yes, thanks, Rudy.
I hope one day we can meet Rudy, I feel like, right? We should.
Yeah.
Hopefully. We're never going to meet Rudy while he's still enlisted, though. Probably. Well, that's not true.
Nah, that's not true.
Yeah, we could still meet him. Yeah.
All right, I didn't tell you what to do with the. So there's some models on here who are just like they're wearing underwear.
Yes.
Just paint that the same color as the loincloth.
Okay. What about just pants?
So if they have pants,
Yeah.
do the pants. If it's just pants, do it Incubi Darkness. If they have pants and a loincloth, do the pants black so that we have some separation.
Oh, I got it. Oh, there is pants and a loincloth. I see. That's the person I'm on now.
Yeah. There's not a ton of those. There's a couple of them.
Anyway, yes, Eldar Exodites, that would have been my vote if I voted in the poll. I want to see... here's the problem with Eldar Exodites. I'll be honest with you. We're going to talk about this a little bit later because we're going to talk about one of my dear topics in what do you call it? Age of Sigmar, which is Dark Elves. We're going to talk about, is the design space there for them? What does it look like? So with Exodites, I think they're in the lore. I mean, they've been pretty candid. This is a thing. We're going to talk about Exodites a bit later as well, but like, what would they be like? So in AOS, I guess in my take, they kind of have to thread them into this area of, I'm going to go ahead and say, the Idoneth Deepkin. Exodites need to be like the Deepkin. Lore-wise, however, that's sort of weird. Like, actually, the elf factions in AOS, honestly, I've been reading a lot of Deepkin lore recently as I've been painting up my Deepkin army. I think there's a strong case to be made that they are the most evil. Not only of the elf factions,
but overall.
But of the order factions, for sure.
Of the order factions? Yeah, I can see it.
Because they are pretty messed up. And if nothing else, Marathi and the Witch Elves and the Snake Girls and everything, one, they've proven that they will do anything to beat up chaos. And they've multiple times, they're kind of like the most trusted allies of the Stormcast, which is crazy.
Is that true, though? Didn't they, like, take over one of their cities?
So that's sort of why she did it. She was like, first she showed how useful they were. Then she took over a city, and Sigmar was like, And then she came back and helped again. And Sigmar was like, all right, what can I do? You scamp, Marathi. You win. You get that city. Yes, not great for the people in the city, but it was kind of like tit for tat, right? That's not like the Deepkin have only recently even started slightly interacting with order factions in a positive way. And even the other elf factions don't like them because Deepkin loves stealing elf souls. So they like go and try to steal Lumineth souls and Daughter souls, right? So that can't be Exodites. I don't feel like Exodites are going to be kind of like on... I think they'd be like one of the least evil factions in 40k, right?
Yeah, I mean, because that already is similar to Drukhari, right? That's kind of their whole deal. It's like, we gotta like inflict pain so that we don't, so we can draw the eyes away from our own souls. So it's like it's very similar to.
Right, the play style, I believe, of Daughters and Drukhari, especially if you're taking Coven stuff, is very similar. But the lore is not like Witch Elves are not nearly as depraved and disgusting and evil as Drukhari are. I mean, their religion is centered around murder, so that's not great. But they don't do all the sick, twisted things like
they turn people into furniture.
Yeah, they don't turn people into furniture. They just like bloodshed. So you know, it's not exactly 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Aren't they just like order vampires?
So
So Ty, it's weird, right? Like they have people who like have these like shortened lives, right? Is it the Namarti?
Oh yeah,
low class.
Yeah.
So they like need souls of other beings to like extend their lives, I think.
Yes, correct. And you need. They actually kind of talk about the ratio. It's something like It's something like 6 human souls only gets an elf like a third of their normal lifespan.
Yeah.
So theoretically, each elf Deepkin needs like 18 human priced souls to live a full life. So 18 humans have to die for 1 Deepkin to have a normal life.
Yeah, and we say normal. It's still not normal, right? They're blind, I think. All the Namarti.
Yeah. They don't use vision as one of their senses, more or less.
Also, they gotta stay away from Teclis, or he's gonna genocide them. Even though I think they said like don't. They're like, no, he won't do it anymore. Teclis is. Do it. Teclis will do it if he gets a chance.
Who's Teclis's bro?
Tyrion.
Yeah, he kind of talked him out of it apparently. So like in the lore currently, Teclis is not exactly on the hunt for the Deepkin. And the Deepkin can ally, like previously when factions had ally, Deepkin had Lumineth. No, they didn't. They just had Daughters as their. It was just because Marathi has since like gone back and been like, hey, let's be friends. Yeah, and that's sort of what's weird about Daughters is like they're weirdly friends with everybody. They're like, hey, we'll be friends, and then you're like, okay, cool, that'll be useful for me because I could use like 20,000 murder ladies at my beck and call. But then they do things like take over one of your cities, and they're like, whoops, what do you want me to do?
Oh,
I guess...
Sorry.
Sorry, you want to still be friends? And you're like, gosh, dang it, yes.
So anyway, we never said exactly what that would mean. I could see them being a... Okay, so what I don't think you have in really either game, and maybe there's a reason for this, maybe Eldar... Drukhari kind of fit this. A cavalry faction, I guess just a cavalry faction, like an all cavalry faction.
40k just doesn't really do that. It's so
that's what I'm saying. So there's space for it, right?
Yeah, but you're telling me they're not going to make like a foot. They'll make them calv heavy. They're still going to make like an infantry Exodite unit, though, right?
Yeah, they would.
But I see what you're saying. Like mostly they're riding either little dinosaurs, big dinosaurs, or huge dinosaurs. Most of them are like riding a dinosaur. That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. That's actually here's the other thing. In 40k, other than Tyranids, there's no faction that's like aggressively monster heavy. So that's the other thing it could be. It could be very monster and cavalry heavy, Yeah,
Ty was saying that they've changed the way that vehicles and stuff work. Like vehicles are much better than they used to be. So here's something that you see in AOS that you don't see in 40k. Units of 2. I think that's a space that you could play with. Like units that are almost so elite that they're a single model, but they end up being a 2 model.
Even 3-man units are so much more common in AOS than they are 40k.
Exactly. So I think you play with
are custodies 3 or 5?
5. They're 5-man squads.
Usually 5, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's another thing to keep in mind, everybody. If you subscribe to the Zach line of thinking, that 2 things have to happen for this line of thinking to go. One, the Henry Cavill the Henry Cavill 40k show has to actually be happening. I want the show to happen. I'm super skeptical that it ever comes to fruition. So we'll see. And 2, you have to believe that in the intermediary, Amazon has told GW that they need to remove harlequins as a concept.
I'm telling you, you can do harlequins right.
You can't. Yeah. Listen, we don't know the average person in the world. We're in a bubble. We're in a 40k AOS bubble. This show is going to go out to the world, and people who have never seen this universe before, you cannot show them space clown elves. It won't work.
They're very silly.
They will not watch the show.
They're not clowns. They're jesters. They're jesters.
It doesn't matter. It's not going to work. Orcs are going to be hard enough. Orcs are
fine. Orcs are fine.
Orcs are going to be tough, but I think they can make it work. Harlequins are gone, man. Get your Harlequins while you can. The faction is, for 1, not going to be in the show. For 2, I think probably on its way out.
No.
In the game. I know. And there's Harlequin people out there that are furious at me. And I'm the last person that's going to start naming factions, being, I hope they get rid of that faction. When I was first starting, Tau, they'd been around for less than 8 years. And there were people constantly in these threads I would go into. I think this is the reason Advanced Tau Tactica started. They constantly, DACA. People are like, I hope they get rid of Tau. Podcast, 40K Radio had a dude who was like, I hope they get rid of Tau. Freaking crazy. It was like, guys, a lot of people love this faction. And, like, you're being dicks. Like, why do you hope they get rid of it? I don't hope they get rid of Harlequins. I'm saying if I worked in TV, I would look at that and I would say, hey, guys, we can absolutely never have this. And listen, Games Workshop, I'm going to be honest with you, I'd probably try to get them off your website. Because you're going to start getting a lot more traffic. And when people see space clown elves, it's going to be a problem. Most people think of elves as something that helped them build Christmas toys, help Santa build Christmas toys. Then you have to get people to remember, oh no, it's Legolas from Lord of the Rings. Then they have to go, oh, okay, and now they're in outer space, okay. And then they have to go, oh, and they're clowns. Oh, like Earth clowns. That's weird.
No, it's not. They're not Earth clowns though. I mean, they're a little jestery. But they're also like the agents of a. Okay, think about them less as clowns and think of them as agents of a god that has gone insane.
It's super cool, dude. But that's not how people work. People just look at the first thing and they go space clowns. And that's kind of what I'm saying. Exodites could take over for Harlequins.
No way. Dinosaurs would have a way harder time than space clowns. Dinosaur elves.
That's the thing. They don't have to make them dinosaurs. There's only a little bit of art, which we're going to show later, depicting them riding dinosaurs.
I wholeheartedly disagree. The Joker. People think the Joker is sinister. People make horror movies about clowns.
But why are space elves clowns?
Because they're servants of a god that lost its mind.
So the suggestion is, so you're basically suggesting, you're basically suggesting the ancient astronaut theory common among the History Channel, which is that at some point, Harlequins came down and gave humans the idea to have clowns.
No, I think you could argue that civilizations get advanced enough that they evolve in one direction.
You hit into it. You get all civilizations go through a clown phase, and that and they evolve that diamond pattern. The diamond pattern.
gets into insane clown posse. Every society, in order to advance, has to get into insane clown posse for at least a little bit. That's like part of the great filter.
Well, no, see, Appleberry has an interesting statement. He says, I think explaining Thousand Sons would be harder than Harlequins. I actually don't agree with that.
Thank you!
No, I actually don't agree with that. Because first of all, kind of weirdly, Thousand Sons, all of the Space Marines came from a region on Earth, right?
How do you explain Necrons?
Necrons have great lore. Are you kidding me? Early race, transferred their body to machines.
But they're also Egyptian.
Yes, well, there's an ancient... See, now I'm back into ancient astronaut theory. Because the original ancient astronauts... Like, if you're an ancient astronaut... Okay, hold on. If you're an ancient astronaut, okay? You're driving around in space, and you land, and you're like, okay, my mission here is to spread... sentience, spread civilization concepts. You might adapt. Those people might adapt a little side. It's the movie Stargate. We've seen Stargate, the original Stargate movie. That could have just been Necron showing up instead of Rob.
So then the same thing can happen with elves and their clowns.
No. Now it's a different story. Now instead of like a space astronaut from like a Suriani pilot getting into a ship. It's a clown. It's a clown elf getting into a space clown car. Showing up.
The episode is written. Here it is. When did Gestures first show up? Probably like pre-medieval, right? In between medieval and post-Roman. You think it's like Roman?
Probably no, not Roman, but probably high Middle Ages. So like, I'm gonna guess like 11 to 13.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Oh my god, what are they called? I keep calling them space clowns now.
That's what they are. That's why you're doing that.
No, what's the real name?
Just like a normal person, Harlequin.
Harlequin, excuse me. The reason, first of all, this is dumb. They should just have Harlequin. We don't need to explain it and have stupid Star Wars prequel or whatever lore.
I want to hear the Harlequin.
But if you want, the Harlequins show up because they can like see the future, and that's like their whole thing, right? It's like they're trying to life is a play, whatever. You got to play your part. They go to try and kill the Emperor or another high value target.
Okay.
And they show up. And they're all laughing and shit. And everyone's like, oh, this is great. And they're doing flips. And they try to kill the Emperor, but the Emperor, totally doesn't die. And then he's like, oh, yeah, no, that's fine. Those weird aliens didn't try to kill me. In fact, you guys should try to do that, too, to emulate them. I don't know.
I mean, it's...
And there you go.
Listen, as far as 40K lore goes, it's not bad. I will say that.
It's not the stupidest thing in 40K lore.
Yeah. So
somehow.
Okay. All right. Listen, we've been on this for a while. Vote in the poll. Let's move on to something related that we want to talk about. We wanted to say there are two kind of problems, and it's mentioned on our thumbnail. What are some units that GW seems to want you to play? No, GW makes but doesn't want you to play. And then what are some units that GW doesn't make that you want to play? Did you get that? Okay,
yes.
Here we go. Okay. I know you did.
This is two separate sections.
Two separate sections. Okay, first. So we're calling this section GW. Why?
Yes.
Universally. Okay. And we're starting with factions that GW seems to not want you to play, but they make. And I'm going to start off with City Elves. I thought that City Elves had a keyword that was going to be like Darkling Covens like they used to have.
Yeah.
Or Umbraneth. But they don't. They don't have a word like Dispossessed or Dwarden. They're just elves. They're just like they're almost in the current faction pack for Cities of Sigmar, it's almost as if they're like downplaying that these guys are dark elves. They're just like elves. The rules have when the book first came out about a year ago, the rules were hot for elves and crap for dwarted, for dispossessed. We've had a flip since 4th Ed has come out. The elves are not that interesting. They're constantly sort of a rule behind or a number of attacks behind where they should be. It's just not really there. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that GW is planning something here. The thing that we always sort of imagine that they're planning is that they're going to be going back to... they're going to be going either to Umbraneth, creating an Umbraneth faction.
Yes. Which I am pro.
Or, sorry, when you get a chance to switch your cameras again there. So they're either going to create an Umbraneth faction, which I have my own thoughts on, or this faction's going bye-bye and it's going to Old World, which is kind of a thing already. So right now, though, it seems like they don't really want you to play these. A lot of it's sold out online. If you go on the GW site, it's all sold out. They're not very good. Like I said, they were kind of weirdly, situationally good in the previous edition.
Right.
Cire, what do you think is happening with Dark Elves?
Okay, here's my theory. They're going to have... Okay. No, not Cire, you stupid. I don't know all of the units that are in cities that are Dark Elves. But I think what you'll do is you'll have the re-emergence of Malarian, formerly Malekith.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to call all of his sons home and say, I am your god and I am back. So leave the cities. Don't be a nerd. And he'll say that and they'll be like, well, I'm not a nerd, so I'm not going to stay here.
One of the things that we talked about discussing today on the stream was, do you see like sub-factions showing up for Darkoath are kind of like their whole self-contained thing inside the Slaves of Darkness book.
Yes.
I think I wouldn't mind seeing Umbraneth reoccur like that in the context of Daughters of Cain. Mm-hmm. I think they're gonna have to subjugate to Morathi. Like that's a thing, right? You can't usurp Morathi. So, but I like the idea of Umbraneth faction, and quite frankly, it already slightly exists. It's sort of what the Shadowstalkers are. The Shadowstalkers are kind of described as being Umbraneth, not like true Daughters of Cain.
Yeah.
So and even that distinction is really just a name. Like, so I could see Daughters of Cain turning into this book that is the religious elf faction. That's the witch elves, the sisters of slaughter, the hag queens, the slaughter queens, the snake ladies, and then the Umbraneth. And that's fun because then like we like books like that. We like books that have like what's another book that has three? I mean, Deepkin have the Namarti or the Akelians, right? And Slaves of Darkness have at least 3 components to them, right?
Yeah, they've got the Darkoath, Archaon's forces, Bellacor's forces. Although Be'lakor is, well, we'll talk about him.
Well, there's even other ways to phrase that. They've got Warriors of Chaos, they've got Darkoath, and they've got demons, I guess. Some.
Slaves to Darkness doesn't. Chaos as a whole.
Yeah. So I don't know. I could see that happening with Umbraneth. I don't know. We always talk about what we think the future of this chunk of collection and lore is going to be.
I just realized that the Darkoath are the demons of Undivided.
Oh, kind of, right? Yeah.
Right. They're like the chaff.
All right, let's talk about the Darkoath.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is actually just a. This whole section was a fabrication for me to slightly complain about internal balance of Slaves to Darkness.
Okay.
That's all this really is.
Makes sense.
they feel like an afterthought. It's a great range. Obviously, they do care about them, but they're just so far below where everything else in Slaves to Darkness is. They don't really work well with other units. You have to give them so they have the mark undivided. So it's like, whoa, one of the main things you use for this, faction, you don't actually get any choice in anymore, right? Because you can't mark them Nurgle; they have to be marked undivided, or you can't mark them corner or anything. They do have their own battle formation, but I guess in that respect, it doesn't feel like an afterthought. But it's not great. It feels a lot like, why wouldn't I just bring something stronger and better? And yeah, the fact that you can't reinforce Savagers because I'm guessing because there's probably a memo saying, oh, it's a Warcry warband, we can't make it so that you can reinforce them. It's kind of dumb. They should make it so that you can reinforce Savagers.
Yeah.
They're a 10-man unit. You can't make them a 20-man, in case people wonder what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'm curious. I'll be honest with you. I love me a horde army. And I think I play probably two of the units that I horde up are Witch Elves and Dreadside Harridans. They're pretty hard to beat. I plan on doing it with Namarti, but honestly, I'll be relying a lot on Reavers, which are the shooty ones. Even the Namarti Thralls, I don't think they quite horde up as well as Witch Elves or as well as Dreadside Harridans or Grimghast Reapers. There's a few things out there. Darkoath interests me. They have a lot of bizarre buffs they can pick up about a third of the way through the game if you're lucky, once they fulfill their thing.
But they're not good.
Yeah.
Like they're not good enough to be okay, so like this is what I mean by like GW doesn't actually want you to take them as their own, they don't want you to take them as their own faction. If you let's just compare the output of maybe Daughters of Cain isn't fair, but let's say any other 20-man unit, they don't have. You can't buff them in the same way.
Yeah, I mean, Steel Helms are maybe a good place to go, right?
Yeah.
How cheap are Darkoath though? That's a good question.
So this squad is 100 points, which is pretty good, but like Furies are 110. Yeah,
Witch Elves are 110.
Yeah, so Witch Elves are Darkoath. Go on.
Witch Elves with a shield, i.e. better armor save, are 100.
What?
Yeah, they are actually cheaper.
The faction is designed to play that way. Like, Darkoath are not meant to play that way, which is why it's in this section. It's like GW doesn't actually want you to play this way.
They don't want you to play Darkoath Horde, you think?
Despite the fact that one of the formations is called Darkoath Horde.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
And that's too bad because, man, these models are so cool. I'm looking at this chick right now. She's the one with like one fist up and the spear off to the side.
Oh yeah.
She's maybe my favorite. Oh, she's on the top left of this picture. You just gave her a spear instead of an axe.
Oh yeah, I made every model unique in this.
Yeah, so which is awesome.
Every model is different.
Yeah, the chick in the top left. She's like super cool. One of the coolest human models I've ever seen in AOS. And, I've gone through all the city's army, this stuff. She's super cool. And it is a bummer. But you know what? I believe that they probably will at some point get it right. And listen, I mean, who knows? Like, would I be surprised if next June hordes are suddenly garbage and like I'm like shelving my Daughters of Cain for a while, at least competitively speaking? Like, not really. I don't know. There might be something about them as a horde that's no longer that good. Yeah, I definitely think in this run we're gonna get a cavalry. I already think we are kind of low key in the age of the cavalry, and I sort of think I'm sort of expecting a year, and I think it might be next year where it's like, the rule we currently have the honor guard thing where the rule is centered around cavalry. I would not be surprised, for that to happen. Cavalry, sorry, yes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but like just so people know, we're painting these because we think they're cool, and we're gonna play them because they're cool. regardless of them not being great.
My guess, Cire, is that we're going to find some gems in the rules that we like about. That's my guess. But I don't.
Crit Mortals is not bad.
Crit Mortals
on the
is
Savagers.
Good. On the Savagers. Okay. Moving on.
Yep.
GW, why? Okay. This one's pretty quick and pretty easy. Dryads. Speaking of cheap basic infantry, not worth their points, Ty. Dryads have about one of the most upsetting stat lines and rule sets. Oh, we said we're going to look them up. My guess is 100. They have one rule, which is if they're within 110. So are they better than 10 witch elves?
Are they 1 wound?
They're 1 wound.
With a 5 up.
With a 5 up, 6-inch move. I mean, honestly, 5 up
save.
move.
They're blazing down the board.
This is the most interesting rule, is that they're -1 to hit and wound if they're wholly within 6 inches of an awakened wildwood. Now, they have made it easier for Appleberry plays Sylvaneth. They have made it easier for Sylvaneth players to get wildwoods out. But this is still not great. 1 wound, -1 to hit and wound, like 5 up save. They just, I don't see why Sylvaneth units are so, the army is so elite. You pay, every time you buy a Sylvaneth unit, this is the army's problem. And I don't think it's not a good army. It's just all armies have problems, and they should.
Yeah, they should.
Daughters have nothing you want to screen with. There's nothing in a Daughters of Cain army I actually want to spend my points on to screen with, right? I have no screens. That's a big problem. Dryads actually are a great screen, but again, Sylvaneth don't have the points for them. Everything in the Sylvaneth army is super elite. So, Molecule, thank you. He says, the idea of an upsetting stat line intrigues me.
He wouldn't know.
When it comes to elves are like hit on 3, wound on 4. Sylvaneth aren't elves, so these things hit on 4, wound on 4, 2 attacks, no ren. It's the exact same. Here's the thing, the exact same stat line. Actually, this is crazy. The exact same stat line as Free Guild,
Cavaliers.
Steel Helms, with 1 worse save. And a lot of, and just like, that ability is okay, but that's kind of about it. Sylvaneth, also not much of a buffing each other army. They've got the Lady of Vines who can give out a ward. It's all like a couple spells. It's not a lot of auras that turn things into like beat sticks or like +1 attack, increase the rend. They don't have a lot of that. And I think, Ty, I think you're right. Won't be surprised to see these things squatted by the end of this edition.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think model-wise, Cire, of the Dryad? Does it hold up?
I mean, yeah, it's actually not terrible. I mean,
not bad.
You can tell it's old, but also it's so stylized. It's like the details are sharp enough.
Yeah, I think it holds up. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering, like, why? These things on a 5 up, they're wood. They should have a 4 up. Give them a 4 up. Oh yeah, they're worse than Steel Helms, right? Because of that, I said that. Give them a 4 up.
Wait, Steel Helms have a 4 up?
Cities are tough.
Darkoath have a 5 up.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
They're honestly, they're lucky to have a 5 up. If we're being honest.
Honestly, yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I think Savage might actually have a 4 up though. Interesting.
Okay. All right, Dryads. I don't know.
Or something.
I mean, of course, here's the reality. When you see, it's kind of the same deal as like Saris Guard or Saris that are old, or when you see the new ones, you're like, oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You could imagine them remaking Dryads and them being just super cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what I want for Darkoath. I don't think they should be good. I think they are what they are. They should be a bunch of marauders who live out of society and are basically barbarian tribes. I don't want them to be super good.
No.
But
their
I think
their elites shouldn't. They should have elites,
they should
but
have no elites.
Well, the closest thing should just still not be that good.
No.
Like one more attack and a point of end or something.
Well,
Maybe,
I actually
yeah.
think the way they have it set up is pretty good. A 10-man,
Yes.
their elite is still 10 people with 1 wound. You could maybe go to like a 2-wound thing if you wanted.
Or like you said,
Yeah.
the armor one better maybe or something.
Yeah, something. I want to see basically like a wall mechanic for Darkoath. I feel like that's pretty thematic. Like, obviously, you don't want to step on the toes of orcs, but hey, what's up, John?
Well, wait, I like the Darkoath. Wait, hold on. By the way, this is not Nagash. This is all gods. We're going to talk about this in a second. Okay, let's back to the Darkoath. Whether the reward is good or not, that's maybe the issue. I like the Darkoath mechanic of accomplish something to get your award. Now, here's the problem. In war games, you only really get one chance at this.
Yes.
In a 5-turn war game, if you're not getting your reward by turn 2, it's falling off fast.
Yeah.
Turn 3 at the latest. If you're picking up an award by turn, whatever it is, your reward by turn 4, it better be damn good, and it better be relevant to turn 5, which is like a 4-up ward, or like auto like when they go to run, they auto run 6 inches without a CP. Like at that point I need to score a battle tactic with them or score an objective with them. Give me something to help with that.
So for bookkeeping and I think ease of use and ease of play, what I would like to see is a generic chart of oaths. I think because right now it's like
infantry get this, cavalry get this kind of a thing.
I think you could just say like, all right, here's 6 things you can do, and then this might be too much bookkeeping.
It's Eye of the Gods. It's Eye of the Gods.
And then you roll. Yeah, exactly. And then you roll on the Eye of the Gods table. Either the Eye of the Gods or their own version of it, right? So it's like, oh, this unit made an 8-inch charge. Roll on the Darkoath Eye of the Gods table, and then you get what you get.
Yeah, I think you could also do. There's 2 types of oaths, and it's set for infantry, cavalry, hero.
Yeah.
And it's I mean that's Nighthaunt have a similar thing. It's like when a Nighthaunt unit charges, it can do something depending on what type of Nighthaunt unit it is. A hero infantry can do the hero or infantry thing. A hero cavalry can do the hero or cavalry thing, right? So like, I agree with you. Yeah, there's play space with the oath system is interesting. I think the oath system also has to be not hard to accomplish.
Yeah.
Like we need when this unit holds an objective. We need that. This unit accomplishes a battle tactic. We need something that some units can do on turn 1, and that has to be kind of thought of. You have to look and say, okay, here are the horsemen, right? What are the horsemen called, sorry?
Fell Riders.
Fell Riders, cool. Fell Riders get their reward whenever they accomplish a battle tactic. Okay, well, great. That's cool, because I'm going to take the flanks with them turn 1. I take the flanks. Now my Fell Riders have a 5-up ward. Or now my Fell Riders auto redeploy 4 inches, like a Doomfire Warlock or whatever, right? Like something like that. It really needs to be thought of. It's like what did I do and what do I get? Okay, how do people play the game? We run up, we tag in to take the flanks, and then we redeploy to get away from something coming after us. So give me my auto redeploy, right? Like
I think right now it's just a little messy, and then it's like, oh wait, every unit has a different oath, and the characters have their own oaths, and it's kind of annoying.
Okay. GWY, gods. How do folks at home feel about gods? I feel like we've never really had, since I've played, we've never had we've never like been able to look at all the gods and been like, they all feel good. They all pointed accordingly. I don't hate playing them, and they're also not like a stupid joke. Have we had that? I don't feel like we've had that. I started playing at the start of 3rd. I haven't seen that yet, if I'm honest.
I mean, no. I think the answer is we've never been at least fully there.
Nagash sat last edition out, so that was a problem. He was simply garbage all last edition.
Yeah.
Alariel came and went around the meta, but I don't know that I would say Alariel was ever really that great.
Yeah.
Teclis was pretty good. Marathi's great last edition. Marathi's great this edition. I think a lot of people hate playing against Marathi. I don't know. I don't know that Marathi is fair, but I will say she makes a lot of people upset. But I will say anyone that has played her more than once, you kind of get it. It's not that bad.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's yeah. Sorry, keep going.
No, that's it. What do you think, Sarai?
I mean, I kind of agree with you. It's because it's okay.
God models, who are they for? Are they for casual players? Because I feel like bringing a God
Character to most games is not fun for casual play.
Should it be? Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then competitively speaking, they're almost never balanced.
They're either too good or they're not
garbage.
Good, or a joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think the one that probably was done right last edition and third throughout the whole edition. I think Teclis and Alariel were okay. You would see Lumineth lists that did well without Teclis. You would see Sylvaneth lists without Alariel that did well. Pretty rare to see a Marathi or a Daughters of Cain list without Marathi do that well. I think you kind of needed her. Kragnos changed a lot in the middle of the edition. And he went to like having a 2-up save and a 6-up ward. And when he had that 2-up save, that's virtually unheard of in Sigmar. That's hard to get through. Like you can't do that. That was pretty rough. So it's a good question, Saray. It came up the other day on stream when I was playing against Brad on a members game. I was playing Brad and I was playing Daughters.
Yeah.
And people were saying, is Marathi something you take to a casual game?
Probably no, right?
I think it depends what your opponent takes. It depends how we define a casual game. I don't know. That game ended up being a tie. It was a good game, actually. Who are the god models for is actually a really great way of phrasing it. Sorry, I don't know if GW has an answer for that.
They're for painters. That's what they're really for.
Frankly, right? They're for painters.
Yeah. Are we all caught? I feel like did we get all our super chats and stuff? I see one from Kiki, so
we gotta do Kiki's. Yeah, Kiki says, Kiki, member 14 months. We super appreciate Lab Mandrill, by the way.
Oh.
What has been both of your favorite models to paint this past month?
Oh, I'm painting Bellicor. So
is he your favorite?
Maybe. I'm also painting a Celestial Line, but I haven't finished it yet. I'm actually having a lot of fun with it.
Okay.
Yeah. There he is.
Oh,
it's not finished, obviously, but I want to do this like light gold.
Yeah.
So he's not finished, obviously, but old Celestial Lion been pretty fun. It's fun to. I like painting Space Marines. So I don't paint them very often now, but that's been pretty fun.
What do you like about painting Space Marines?
It's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's basic. There's not a ton to worry about. And also, I like kit bashing, even if it's very light kit bashing. And, there's a million models and all the parts fit together pretty well. So
got it. Yeah, I totally empathize with that. So, we've been adding to the Stormcast army. Kind of feels the same. The same. I'm like, you just crank them out. And you get to spend more time on like the fun animals and stuff.
Yeah, the fun bits.
Kiki, for me, I have been really enjoying. Actually, here I can grab a chunk of them. I've been having to paint two things. Thing number one is Stormcasting. Number two is Deepkin. And I've really been enjoying the Deepkin, if I'm honest. The Stormcasts are fine, but Deepkin have been great. What I'm currently working on, I'll show you real quick here. Hopefully I'm not zoomed in too much like I was last time. Let me see if I can get this right. Here's my Fang Mora eel. And I really have been enjoying Deepkin. I've been enjoying being able to put like different colors on things. I've been doing all the sea creatures a little bit different, but trying to find like this greenish color, sort of the deep mare is this color. So I've been like really enjoying just working on the Deepkin, the different sea creatures. Honestly, it's been a lot of fun.
Hey.
One thing that's very funny with these is how many. It's funny because Liberty Fire's member, Lab Mandrill, big supporter, friend of the show, friend of us, recently talked about how I was talking about how I paint all the creatures different, and I was saying, I've been getting a weird amount of flack for this. People have been like, "Whoa, wait, they're not all going to be blue." I'm like, "No, why would they all be blue or whatever?" Right? One of the people is a person that we know struggles with creative endeavors, and watches movies in 30-minute spurts, and he was an amazing painter, weirdly. But KK was like, "Wait, you're not going to just have them all like unified?" And I was like, "No, like, I was like, the riders are going to be unified, right? Like the elves all get their armor on, and then they get on all these different sea creatures. Like the creatures aren't all going to be unified, like." Because I did base them off of like Arctic animals, like Beastclaw Raiders, where everything's white, or deep sea creatures where everything's mostly like blue, gray, black. I based them off of like coral things in the coral, where it's all kinds of different colors, right?
Yeah.
So it's been fun. It's been fun to just do the different patterns on sea creatures. Honestly. Okay. Last Y. Are you ready for this, Ray?
I'm back. Sweet. Yes.
Okay.
Hello?
Now, I have a picture of Giselle's Arena, and this is the Daughters of Cain Warcry band. Right at the very end of 3rd Ed, I remember I had a conversation with Steven on Discord, and you guys know I love my daughters. It's probably my favorite army, and I was like looking at things I hadn't played around with before, and Giselle's Arena was weirdly like freaking amazing for a minute. I was like, oh my god. They're like super cheap, and they accomplish all these things. And by like turn 4 or 5, their output's actually a little scary. Blah blah blah. Then 4th Ed came, and they kind of fell off. Since 4th Ed, I have to say, yes, it is the other one is the Hag Queen one, Ty, and I have both of them. I haven't painted or done anything with these gals yet. Now I'm kind of planning on using the one. Giselle herself as a High Gladiatrix, but unfortunately High Gladiatrixes, I don't think they're that good. I do want to play around with them a little more in 4th Ed, but I don't think they're that good. If they get a big points drop, they might be amazing, honestly. To assassinate here. Their hero assassination ability is scary good. It's basically roll 2d6 and beat a wound characteristic. Or match or beat a wound characteristic, which is like go up to a foot hero, roll 2d6, they're dead for the most part. But I'm not sure. They need a big points drop. Yeah, and Ty, the other one is the Hag Queen one. And this is kind of what I love about Warcry bands, is using the models for other things.
Oh, yeah.
I use Morgan Wrath, I think is her name, the Hag Queen.
Morgan Raw?
Yeah, she's the one. She's holding a cup. She's holding a cup out, or cup up, spear on her. She's like holding her spear on like a walking stick. She's who I use for my Hag Queen on foot. She's just so much better than the actual Hag Queen model. She's like more stylized. I think the actual Hag Queen is on 25 mil. It's too small for a hero. She's on a 28.5, or I think.
Cheater.
Yeah, just way cooler. Same with this gal. High Gladiatrix is a newer model. It actually is on a 28.5.
Okay.
Or it might even be on a 32. And she's on the same one, so she matches. She's just like an awesome High Gladiatrix. But since 4th Ed has arrived, I feel that Matthew took the decision to not lean into like how these could be cool. And I kind of was hoping they had a weird dynamic in last edition where they're always way overpriced. And they always had this bizarre dynamic of the hero was separate. The hero was a hero, and then you got this like little like in this case, you'd get literally like 4 Sisters of Slaughter with maybe 1 extra rule. So it'd be like a 4 wound, 6 up unit. And you'd be like, cool, hope nobody looks at them. Right. And then what happened with this one was kind of interesting. At the end of 3rd, they actually made all these gals 2 wounds. And it was like, oh, okay, that's something. And it was like 70 points. It was like crazy good for a second. I would love to see them go the opposite direction that they went. I would love to see them say, okay, like the Warcry band is a 5 gal unit. This one right here, we'll use an example. Giselle's Arena. Here it is. It's these 5 gals. It's unique. You can't have more than 1. And it's kind of good. And it's, it's cheap too. It helps you close that gap. Now that we don't have endless spells to do that anymore, right? It helps you close that gap of 80 points, maybe of 70 points. And it's fragile and it might die, but it's got some cute trick or it's got something it could do to score you a battle tactic turn 1 or turn 5 or there's something about it where you're like, oh, okay, I would include that in my list. It's fun.
A nice utility unit.
Yeah. That said, I don't know, Cire, how do you feel? Is there not also something to be said about it's kind of cool that like they're leaving the game and now we could just use the models in the game for what we want?
I mean, I like the weird bespoke rules of these weird models from other games. I don't know. I kind of like the weird because you can always get away with just using them however you want anyway.
Right.
So it's like
I can be like, oh, I don't have Giselle's Arena. I'm just using her as my High Gladiatrix. No one's gonna give a shit, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters.
I'm a little bummed by that. All the Warcry bands they've really wanted to be like, hey, this isn't a thing anymore. And I don't know. I maybe Warcry players are excited about that. Or sorry, not Warcry, Underworlds. Maybe there's a good reason for it. I don't know, but I liked it. I liked having these little because then the other cool thing that happened is you got out of phase releases for your army. You're just like messing around. Oh, cool. My book came out 6 months ago. Or my book came out 15 months ago. I'm not getting a new book anytime soon.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, like, cool, boom, weird little new unit. Fun. Like, is it game breaking? No. Is it fun? Hell yeah. Like,
yeah, I think that's a great aspect of it, but I suspect it probably has something to do with GW wanting to see like, okay, does Underworld's like, should we actually be supporting this? Does this stand on its own? Or should we just be releasing these models for AOS? Making them part of the regular release cycle.
Right. Or should we just make them regular and then say, hey, here's a side game you can play with your AOS models.
Yeah.
Right. But listen, it's all about marketing and packaging, and you could buy these gals in a Barnes and Noble or a Target. And you can't buy other factions like that. And so, you're a little kid. You might not have a brother. I had an older brother that played D&D, played all this stuff, right? If I didn't have that, I might have been in a store one day and seen this and been like, to my mom, been like, hey, what is this? Can I play this, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. There are some good ones, Ty, I know. And I haven't, I know, is Callus and Toll Underworld one? I know they're good.
I forget what Callus and Toll is. Yeah, I think Underworlds are under Warcry. I always forget.
They're a Region of Renown. No, they're Warcry. I'm pretty sure they're Warcry. Yeah. Actually, I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Somebody knows. Okay, next thing. Why is there a Brutalis Dreadnought here?
Oh yeah. So I mean, now we're in the we want
Tell
these, but
us.
GW is not going to make them.
Yeah.
No matter how much we incessantly say we want it to happen.
Wait, sorry, real quick before you go. What's dryad bark? Boots. No.
Boots. Boots, yeah.
Okay.
Boots and leather straps, but just
Got
focus on the boots. I'm not sure. I might do the straps black. I don't know yet.
Okay. All right. Why is there a dreadnought here? This is your idea. This is one of the best ideas you've ever had.
Yes, this is the only good idea I've ever had.
Only good idea you've ever had.
Stormcast dreadnoughts. Make it happen.
Make it, dude. Just shut up, GW. You know you want these two.
Yeah,
dude. Oh my god, Sray, did you see the adorable like Christmas card or whatever where there's like a Space Marine guy and a Stormcast girl like on a date together? Did you ever see that?
Yeah, that was a while ago, right?
Yeah, they do like the cute little guys. You know you love these two factions and want them to get together. Just do a Space Marine.
Just do
a Stormcast. And you know what? They're gonna do it. The Reclusian chapter is exactly a chapter to do it. They're the not chapter, the chamber. They're the chamber that's losing their shit. They're going crazy. You put the craziest of crazy Reclusians, or not Reclusian. What are they called?
It's
Reclusians, Ruination.
Ruination Chamber. Yeah.
You put the craziest of crazy Ruinations in a dreadnought. Come on, GW.
And then you have the version where it's like, this one's like a lightning geist. He's like too crazy. Just throw him in a dreadnought. We can't put him in a body because his body will just explode. Just throw him in a dreadnought.
Oh, that's right. That was your idea. They come back up and they stay in lightning. They're like in a bottle, a lightning in a bottle, and you literally
it's literally lightning in a bottle knot.
You click the bottle in, and there's like lightning on the. Oh, so cool! Do it.
Yeah.
Give me my light.
That. And then a bunch of 40K players will buy it because they're like, oh, that's so cool. I'll use that as my Custodes dreadnought.
Yeah. Which is probably look better. It's gonna look better than a Custodes.
Frankly, it will because.
I mean, just run Stormcast as your
as your Custodes.
Custodes or Sanguinary Guard. Just looks better.
Something. Oh, yes. definitely Sanguinary Guard. Yeah. Make it happen. I'm gonna keep saying you guys need to start saying this too.
Yeah, no, you guys, we need to get on. This one is like a big one that needs to happen. Like, be hostile about it too.
Yeah.
If you're in the Nottingham area, email them. If you're in the Nottingham area, follow people home. Get serious. Here,
customer service. We need to make this happen.
Follow basic customer service people home from Nottingham. There are other U.S. ones in Nashville. Go on Facebook. Find them on Facebook. Hunt people down. Yeah. Make it happen.
And say, give me Stormcast Dreadnought.
I want my damn Stormcast Dreadnought. Okay. All right. Here we go. Moving on. Here they are. Eldar Exodites. Boy, what a dumb drawing.
Does that guy even have a full Ultramarine symbol, or is that just a U?
What's funny about this drawing is you would think it might be AI, but it's not. It's not. It's super old. It's super old. It's super old. It's from like the early 90s or something. Yeah, I don't actually want like a giant heavy weapons platform on a Brontosaurus.
Oh.
Although I will say this, AOS is dramatically missing Brontosaurus models. And don't tell me Conquest has one. Nope, Conquest isn't going to exist 18 months from now, so no one gives a shit. I want a Brontosaurus model in one of these games.
I want a two-headed Brontosaurus model.
Oh, yeah. Right.
That'd be sick.
Duh. What was I thinking? Duh. Yeah.
Duh. Obviously. Two heads.
I could also listen, I also wouldn't be opposed to six legs.
Yeah. Thank you, Ty.
Yeah. The Ultramarine in the front is just it looks like a I want to see that little, what's that computer company that had like the little like letters with the red outline in the white center. I want to see like it looks like not a Sega Genesis game, but a Sega game.
Oh, yeah. Like an early 90s logo.
Like an early 90s video game logos all over this, and then I'm like, okay, that makes sense. How do you feel about Exodites, Ray? You're not an elf guy.
Not an elf guy. I think they're a much harder sell than harlequins.
What? No.
Oh yeah, definitely hard.
Are you messing? Are you just trolling me with this?
I'm a 100% serious. How are you guys? Why are dinosaurs? I don't get it. Why are there dinosaurs in the show?
Okay.
Why
Hold
are
on.
the elves
Hold
running
on.
dinosaurs?
Hold on.
I don't get it.
I don't think dinosaurs have to be part of it.
I thought this was the future. Why are there dinosaurs?
I thought this was the future. Why are there clowns?
They're artists. They're freak assassins. They're like weirdos. Okay, what if they were wearing like a masquerade? You know, like you go into a dance or a ball. You wouldn't trip
like
if
a gala,
they were wearing
like a gala, like a.
Yeah. You wouldn't.
Like,
You wouldn't think that was weird.
You mean like like "Shake Your Ass" by Mystical, that music video?
I don't know it, but yes.
Oh, you don't know that music video? You gotta watch that music. That's a good music.
Oh,
video.
wait, mystical. Oh, yeah,
Mystical.
Yeah, with a K, right?
Yes, with a K.
Yes, okay. Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, give me that.
I was just listening to that song the other day.
Give me that and "Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See," Busta Rhymes. Give me those. Those two music videos came out kind of near each other, and I think like Mystical kind of copied Busta Rhymes, but like the vibes, the visual vibes in those music videos are like sick.
Yeah.
Give me that for Exodites, sure. No,
yes.
You were saying for Harlequins, sure. I guess. I don't know. I'm skeptical.
Yeah, I want Exodites to come out so that people will stop asking.
That's how I feel about Umberneth.
Yeah, so like if we give people Exodites, they'll finally stop asking for that and they'll start asking for Stormcast Dreadnought.
Yeah, I feel exactly how you feel, but not only about Umberneth, but honestly also Chaos Dwarves. I'm like, listen, you're gonna do it, just do it.
Yeah, just do it. What are you afraid of?
All right, moving on. We've got okay. This is your bone to pick with Games Workshop. I'm going to let you take over. I don't quite get this. This one feels very specific.
We probably should just put a world leader with a las cannon. All right, so back in the very early times.
I looked. I couldn't find one.
Yeah, I couldn't find one either, actually. I was trying to find one for you. Back in the very early days of Warhammer.
Khorne did not have magic, but he did have technology. So, again, this is back in the day. Khorne armies in Warhammer Fantasy could bring like
40k weapons. Like one guy could get like a las cannon.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
in Warhammer Fantasy, there would be a
fantasy. Yes, which is hilarious.
So wait, you want to wait? I'm sorry, I didn't realize what you were saying. Are you suggesting that in Age of Sigmar, you would like to see a Khorne model with a las cannon?
Yes, one guy gets a relic las cannon. And you say, I don't know where this came from. Khorne gave it to me. It's pretty awesome. I mean, it'd be much easier to do something like a chainsword because you could also give him chainswords. Like, I have no idea how this works. It seems to be an engineering marvel. It's a cool chainsword. I'm in Warhammer Fantasy. And that's what he says. Or a bolter. Give one guy a bolter, and it hits on twos, wounds on twos.
I need to think about this. I'm not
think
sure
about how but guys like Khorne, I'm truly blessed. And Khorne's like, yeah, dude, whatever. Here. I got this from my other universe that I part-time in.
Oh yeah. Shh, don't tell anybody.
Here's your fucking las cannon.
Yes, Ty, the Zangor kit has guns and chainswords, but you're not supposed to use them in Age of Sigmar.
Exactly. See? Tzeentch is already doing it. Why can't Khorne do it?
Tzeentch would probably do it before Khorne would do it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Tzeentch would bring Space Marines into...
Thousand Suns.
Here's some Thousand Suns Alpha Legion.
I would take Thousand Suns in AOS. That'd be fun. All right. I'm thinking about this. I think I might love it. Because here's the deal. It's not going to be that much better. A las cannon, you're going to put that on like a relic las cannon on like a on like a model. It's gonna hit on 4, wound on 2, be Ren 3, D6 damage. It's never gonna hit.
Nope.
It's like Marathi's Gaze hits on 2, wounds on 2, Ren 3, D6 damage. I think I've played 100 games with my Daughters of Cain. I've done probably a total of 18 points of damage with that thing. It's never gonna hit. Yeah, give me a last cannon.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm on board. Give me a last cannon on Khorne. I kind of like this idea actually.
It's just one guy walking around the last cannon.
Just one guy, yeah. I kind of like it. Okay, next we've got a Caradron Overlord Gunhauler. This is another one of yours. Tell me what's going on here.
Oh, nice, Smiley. Congrats. Oh, you should join the Discord and show if you're not already in the Discord.
Yes, actually, please. Like, we would appreciate that.
Yeah, I really want to see a picture of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But sorry. GW. Give me a tank. Give me a Caradron Overlord Dreadnought.
Caradron Overlord Dreadnought? No, you want to. Oh, okay. All right. You suggested
I want
a tank.
A ground vehicle. No, I meant the tank.
I actually want a new flyer for them. That's like the only weapons it has on itself are like 6 shots with the Ethermat carbines, and it can drop 5 guys off. And otherwise, it's pretty much like a gun hauler, but more expensive. But what it also can do is it can drop. It drops essentially like their terrain piece, and it's like an emplaced gun. And turn 1, you like maybe it even pregame moves. It pregame moves, drops the thing.
Yeah.
And then it's like 2 what's their big cannon, Cire?
2 las cannons.
No. It's full of Khorne berserkers. It's full of bloodletters. It's got 2 bloodletters with a las cannon each. No, but what's the big sky cannon or whatever it's called?
Yeah, great sky cannon.
Yeah, you like drop it and it's got like, well, that doesn't make sense. It's on the sky, but it's got whatever it's got 2d3 shots that are hit on 4, wound on 2, Ren 3, D3 plus 1 damage or something like.
Yeah, I think that'd actually be great. I feel like if anyone gets terrain that just does damage, like from a distance, it should be KO.
Yeah, it should absolutely just KO, just like a gun platform. Oh, and maybe you can put guys on the platform too. Like you can have, they bring back like old Garrison rules more or less, and you've got 5 Thunderers on there, and all the
Or hear me out. They make it so that KO are never on the ground. They're allergic to the ground. So this thing actually burrows into the ground. It's a submarine. They can never. It's a termite drill.
Oh, so cool. I also think KO would benefit. But I could see KO having like gameplay wise, like this tall walkers. Like a downward facing gun, like anti-infantry, just like a War of the Worlds. Yeah, like Sentinel, War of the Worlds, just like creeping along and just like blasting into infantry, like super cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot they could do with KO.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they should give him bolters.
Bolters. Relic bolter.
Relic bolter. One guy gets a relic bolter.
Speaking of tanks, we both have brought this one up before. I actually love the Steam Tank. I love its rules. I keep trying to con Brett into playing double Steam Tank on stream. I think he's going to do it. I love the rules. I actually freaking love the model.
Yeah, it's a great model.
This model is just in this bizarre, like totally belongs in AOS. Mm-hmm. I don't know, like it hasn't aged out yet. It's just
it's iconic.
It's amazing. I love the Steam Tank model, but I do want to see one 3 times the size on a Guardian size base.
Baneblade Steam Tank.
This needs to be a cute Steam Tank. I want to see a Baneblade Steam Tank. Yeah, absolutely. I want to see like on a 50 like the Gargant or like a Lariel / Ragnarok size base. Give me that base. Not enough things use that base. Give me that base. I want a weapons platform. I want a sniper team on top. I want a platform. I want a wizard. I want to be able to put a wizard on it.
Oh no, that's two different build variants. You have the sniper build.
Of course.
Yeah.
Sniper build or wizard build, but I want to be able to do both. Yeah.
Don't they have cog forts? Like that's a thing, right? So what if this is like an attachment to the cog fort? Because obviously a cog fort would be too big to put on the table.
Yeah, this is a good question. So this is interesting. I don't know. I want to say yes. I do know what's like prominent in their lore right now is this concept that I don't think you could also fit on the table, where they have floating islands, and the cities of Sigmar have like gone around all the realms and captured these, and they basically like build city stuff. They're if you recall Terran in the original StarCraft, and their buildings could take off and like go over and land. It's like that concept. It's like one of the things that makes cities of Sigmar cooler than you would think is they don't like travel, then go somewhere, then like claim a wilderness and defend it while they slowly build a city. They build a city in the city that they have, then they put it on a floating island. They build on the floating island, and then they move the city, and then land the floating island, take the city off, and put it there.
Yeah.
And then move on to put a new city down. It's kind of what makes... It's sort of one of those things where you're like, oh, shit, humans are cool in AOS, actually.
Yeah,
like,
humans don't mess around.
They don't mess around. They have a cool concept, and they spread like termites, and it's like pretty cool. But yeah, a cog fort. I want to see a giant cog fort.
Yeah. Steam Tank, Bane Blade, Bane Sword. In fact, they need to have the same amount of variants. So, like the Shadow Sword, Bane Sword, Bane Blade.
Yes. What about the Steam Tank also, like, right at, like, foot level, needs to have, like, a melee weapon that's, like, a saw blade that, like, comes out. I want to see melee weapons with the tanks, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's actually the ultimate weapon. We're not going to get Sigmar, we're just going to get a super tank.
Yeah, I want to have like a little claw area facing forward with like two saws. You do not want to get caught in there.
No.
Yeah.
Like a Defiler, yes, but not lame.
Yes. Not lame, not stupid. Defilers are in Sigmar. I've weirdly never seen one.
Yeah, they legend all these cool models. I forgot about that one.
Yeah. We should all petition Games Workshop to Legends the Defiler. Oh, GW, I think you guys forgot the Legend the Defiler. Listen, that's it. We did it. Let's close the poll, and then we're going to do fan stuff. Cire, the winner of the poll. Cire, there you are. The winner of the poll. Eldar Exodites. How do you feel?
Everyone is wrong.
Everyone is wrong.
Yeah. Everyone is wrong.
You know, I have to say this about GW. One of the things I love about GW is Apple has this saying, surprise and delight. And Apple's pretty good at it. GW is pretty good at surprise and delight. They'll just give us something nobody asked for. I think that one time they totally screwed that up was with, like, Ynnari. Even though the Triumvirate is super cool, the models and everything, like, nobody was asking for a weird new quasi Asuryani, quasi Drukhari subfaction centered around a lost elven god of death. What we were asking for was Exodites. What we've been asking for...
What we should have said was not that. Yeah.
What we've been asking for a decade before you did that, and it's the decade since you've done Ynnari...
Is Exodites. So... we're waiting.
Yes, Smiley says, being new to the hobby, I gotta say, GW is amazing, but I hear so much critique. Yeah, listen, our hobby and the way we cover the hobby, centered around Age of Sigmar, it'd be weird. It's weird. It'd be like if we were a Ferrari channel, right? We cover one company, essentially, right? And so we love it, but we also rip on it all the time. That's pretty normal. We're not like a specific sports car. We don't cover all sports. I mean, I guess we do.
I mean, you did take a shot at Conquest. That's.
I did. Oh, sorry. You got to flip your cameras again.
Okay.
It's true. You're right. Conquest. I always take shots at. I don't take shots at other companies. Like Infinity's super cool, right? But GW, we love them. Sometimes they drive us nuts. And
did I fix it?
No,
I
it's
did not
like
fix
awesome. It's like all you right now on the screen. It's super cool. It's like you. It's like you in the zoom in. Okay,
There we
now
go.
it's just now. No,
Now it's backwards.
Now it's backwards. Now it's you again.
Why is it doing that? All right, I'm gonna hit a refresh.
Yeah,
I'll
hit
be
a
back.
refresh. Okay. Yeah, Smiley. I can't say I'm surprised. It's pretty normal. It means a lot to a lot of people. So you get it wrong, you're gonna hear from your fan base. But hobbies are weird like that. It is weird to think about a hobby that is centered around a company, more so than like just the hobby itself. Like knitting, Megan does knitting, and knitting is not. There you go. Wait, you had it for a second. You had it for a second.
We're back. It's fixed now. Video Ninja likes to just do whatever it wants. I don't know why it does that. Video Ninja's just like, we're gonna flip things in the middle of the stream.
Yeah, we'll flip it for you. You guys were trying to flip that, right? Hey, let's do fan stuff.
Oh yeah.
Before let me pull it up. I want to make sure I have the folders here. Cire, thoughts on GW relations? Like, we love them, we hate them, we love to hate them, we hate to love them.
I mean, I really like their product. I don't always agree with their business decisions. I think that's pretty normal. That is a very milquetoast take on GW, right? We like what they make. We don't like a lot of the things they do. I like the community around Warhammer a lot, though. The parts that I like a lot, and then the parts that I don't like, I really
except when we don't, and it
hate.
happens.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens. Yeah. I do have to say, if you're into Age of Sigmar, we're in this. Age of Sigmar is in like a nice little comfortable golden age right now, where it's a good size. There's not a lot of horrible people. There's a lot of nice, inquisitive people entering, going like, "Oh, look at this cute world."
Yeah, you should check out. Speaking of other channels, what's Kiki Briki's channel again?
Saga of Dice.
Check out Saga of Dice.
Check out Saga of Dice. If you're into AOS, the other ones I love are Battle Shock Wargaming with Michael. Michael's a great dude. Battle Shock Wargaming, super cool channel. And then, frankly, AOS Coach is great. Anthony's amazing, super cool guy. There's a lot of good AOS channels out there, but those are some of my favorite. And of course, Season of War. If you want to watch just like some of the best pre-recorded battle reports, Season of War is there. Battle Shock's pre-recorded battle reports are amazing too. Michael and the gang, what those guys do is they shoot battle reports like we shoot live games.
Yeah.
And then they edit them, but not too much. And you're sort of like, well, okay, is it a live stream or is it a battle report? But what you realize it helps them do is just get content out. And they're great. And the guys are great. They're great players. The armies look great. The studio looks great. And you realize that they're putting out pre-recorded battle reports faster than anybody else. Because once you start and they're good at it. If you're like, well, okay, quantity's great, but I like quality a little bit more, then watch Season of War. Jordan, Ridge, those guys are super great. They're putting them out a little less frequently, but they do edit more and they do shoot as if they're doing it. But man, I've been part of that process, and it's a lot of work.
They're doing some good work.
There's some good work. Okay, here we go. Fan stuff. We're starting off with a fan favorite of ours, as in a favorite fan of ours, a dear friend. This is a guy that I'm very excited to meet. I haven't met Cody in person yet. I'm super excited to meet Cody in person. Cody has been cranking. Oh, wait, this isn't Cody. Oh my God, this thing is like super in Cody's style almost, but it's not. Sorry, not Cody. Oh my God, Cody's gonna.
Oh my God, Cody's gonna.
He's gonna wreck
That's it.
me.
We lost Cody forever.
This is Sad Tony. Sad Tony.
Oh, okay.
And what made me realize, as I was like, oh, I was gonna be like, Cody has been painting in this style, and he stepped away from Kingdom Death to paint a D&D miniature. It's like, no, it's Sad Tony. Yes, Sad Tony.
Yeah.
Listen, Sad Tony, I'm sorry. To be honest with you, being compared to Cody, kind of a good thing. So
That's a good thing.
yeah, that's a good thing. I love this.
Yeah, it's great. I really like the you don't see enough yellow and white schemes.
Dude, I love yellow and white.
Yeah, yellow and white's a great combo.
I love yellow, white, and blue. This is making me realize I love yellow, white, and purple.
Yeah. There's a little bit of blue in there too, though.
Yeah, so he's also done this, yes, and he's done this, first of all, like, you don't think about it at first, but look at the basing. Like, the marble, that is some good green marble, man.
Yeah.
That is delicate, that is subtle. Those books.
Those leather books looking great.
The leather-bound book thing. In other words, I think what you don't think about when you see this model at first is how good Sad Tony captured like two actual materials, which is marble and book.
Yeah, marble and silk.
Yeah, everything looks like really good.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I think we knew he was a good painter, but this is a pretty low-key piece that like punches above its weight. When you look at it, you're like, oh, this is like a lot going on. Yeah, yes, the silk, right? The yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Quite good. Quite good. Okay. Now I gotta say, is this
Liberty?
Voodoo? No, not Liberty.
It's not Liberty? Oh, wow.
No, Liberty's orcs are reddish skin because they're. This is Jules, End of Empire.
Oh, okay.
Jules,
I didn't know he did Iron Jaws.
Yeah, Jules, I was looking at your Iron Jaws. He posted a bunch of pics, and I gotta say, Christ, it is hard to get a good army picture, man. And I looked at all of Jules' pictures, and I was like, every single one of these pictures, there's like one spot that's like really good in the picture, and the rest is kind of blurry, kind of hard to see. But I think this is my favorite. I want to say a couple of things about this. I like the paint scheme. It's very low key. What I really want to see more of, Jules, is that black and white ganashing jaws in the background.
Oh yeah.
Look at that thing.
Also, nice basing. I like your basing.
Yeah, nice. But he's got a bunch of pictures. Check them out because, like I said, I can honestly say I'm not sure I picked the right one, and it is hard to get an army shot. And you can tell he posted like 10 pictures of his army, and then later on posted more pictures of his army. He's like, he posted. Oh, that's right. That's what I was to say. He posted a video. Check out the video. The video shows it better than anything. But we just don't have a video queued up thing. I mean, I guess I could have, but, in the interest of uniformity here. So, looks amazing. Not the best picture that I could have picked. Maybe he had a few. Check out the video. This is Voodoo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That is a big wrench.
It is. This is like a 3D print orc. It's kind of funny. The bowl I'm almost okay with the print. Every now and then, something like the print lines on something actually kind of works.
Yeah.
I
can't see them to be.
His helmet. Oh, from your view. It's just his helmet that you see him on, and I think it kind of works.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
It's very well painted. Speaking of leather again, right? That's some greatly painted leather.
Yeah, actually, you're right. It looks like realistic. It looks like leather should look.
Yeah. Good job.
I'm wondering, what I found makes leather look super dope is Tamiya. I use like a Tamiya 2-part brown, 1-part black mix. That can't be what everybody else is using because that's a very unique recipe,
It's very specific.
It's a very specific recipe. What do you use to like give leather this sort of like? It almost is like satin.
Yeah.
after the fact. So like, Saray, what do you do to make leather look like? Give it like this like actual leather look, as opposed to just being the colors of leather.
Well, I mean, if you're very smooth with your blends, you can make even a very matte thing look satin. It's also certain brands are a bit more satin.
Paint, yeah.
And of course, you could just satin varnish.
You know what I thought you were gonna do when you were like, well, I thought you were just gonna like sign out and be like, oh man, I dropped again.
Well, bye.
Have you ever thought about doing that? Just like not knowing the answer to a question and then dropping.
Dipping.
Yeah. Okay, this is Tactile Sun. This was I think he was in here earlier. Tactile Sun. I can't remember if you said this was a 3D print or if this was just another line. Model from another line, a demon prince from some other line. If that's the case, somebody in chat's going to be like, oh, it's from here, blah, blah, blah. Especially Dan Roberts is here. He knows like every model ever. Man, I've realized, Tactile Sun, you are really good at grimy crap. You need to play Heresy, man. This guy weathers like great.
Yeah.
He has a very sketchy kind of style. And I mean that in like, it's like he sketches with his paintbrush. Yeah. And it just lends itself to weathering. Because I sort of feel like in an interesting way, he only paints. This is going to sound like a bad thing, but it's not. It feels like his sketch style, the way he paints over a model, it's like he only paints like 70% of the model. If that makes sense.
No, I know what you mean. I think he's putting more, he knows how to draw attention to areas like focal. It's basically working on focal points, which is
right.
the way you should paint. Honestly.
Right. And when I say he's paying 70% of the model, that's like saying, humans are like, we're only 10% mass. The rest of us is open space and an atom, right? You don't really see.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What? Okay. Like, imagine a weave. Imagine like weaving with yarn or with like a coarse material.
Yes.
Like a cross hatching or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that would mean that there's a lot of empty space.
Okay.
I don't mean he only paints like 70% of the model and there's like an arm and a body part that he didn't paint. I mean that over the course of the whole model, the way he paints leaves like open spaces or like down to the base coat or whatever. And then he uses weathering to kind of like fill it in is sort of what I'm saying. Yeah. I hope that makes more sense than... You're right. I realized my atom example talking about science might have been beyond our audience, Saray. Jeez.
I didn't see the connection. All right. Great job, Zach Carlson.
Moving on. Oh, okay. We know this guy. This is Devin.
Tiny.
This is Devin. And he painted an A-wing. He calls it Whoosh. And this angle might not be the best angle to see what it's action-wise doing. I thought this was my favorite angle of the A-Wing. And yeah, that's right, guys. I knew a Star Wars term. If you rotate this around, you can see it's like hitting the snow.
Yeah.
And he put it on a little plinth. Yeah.
He's trying to break into that tiny planes category because if you guys don't know, Devin is an award-winning painter.
Oh wait, Ty. I'm now getting from Ty that this is not an A-wing.
You fucking idiot! You didn't even Google it right.
It's a snow speeder. Damn it!
You idiot!
But guys, it does kind of look like an A-wing, right? A-wing is the same.
What is a fucking A-wing? I'm gonna look this up. I don't know what A-wing is.
Things are falling apart for Zach. Okay.
That is not an A-wing. You are totally
it's the
off.
Same. It's almost the same.
No,
it's
not even close.
Right. Definitely not an A-wing. Yes, got it. All right, moving on. Moving on to Boris. Here's Boris. Dude, Boris.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Boris, killing it.
I never always understand. He's painting white scars.
Yes.
Why are these white scars in predominantly red armor? I'm sure there's a reason for that.
They're Tech Marines.
Tech Marines. Okay, I was going to ask, does it have to do with Mars or some bull crap? Okay, that's awesome. That's super cool.
That's exactly it. Some Mars crap.
Mars crap. It's just some Mars bull crap. Hey, I got that one right.
Yeah.
Turns out being active in a community's lore and IP for 15 years is a lot.
You pick up a little bit.
You go a little bit further than just looking
Yeah.
at something and thinking it's an A-wing. Okay, this was. Let me see the name. Look at the name. Forget who this was.
Is that a space wolf?
Oh, it's a Saw, I think. Yeah. I'm gonna say Saw. Oh no, I just lost it. Where'd it go? Segment.
You lost it. Yeah, it is Saul. Saul said it's
Saw.
him.
Yeah.
Oh, is this Emperor Spears?
Saw can answer that. What I want
I
to
think it is
say,
Emperor
Saul's probably like, yo, of all the pictures I posted, why'd you post this one? I thought his cloth came out really great. I also thought that this picture kind of showed, weirdly, even though he's facing away from us, I feel like it kind of showed like the composition better than anything else. It was a nice shot of the like watery effect thing he's doing.
Oh yeah.
Again, he has a lot of pictures of this in our Discord. Check them out; they're there. I know it might seem odd to have picked one where we're looking at the back of the Marine, but I very like the cloth.
Yeah.
Nice work, Saul. Yeah.
Yeah, good. I'm painting up some Celestial Lions. If you haven't read Spears of the Emperor, you should. But Spears of the Emperor, Celestial Lions are both in that. So good.
Are they both from the
choice.
same? Are they? What's their parent chapter?
I think so. Celestial Lions are Imperial Fists.
Boo.
Emperor Spears are they're cool. Emperor Spears are Ultramarines.
Okay. Yeah, it's weird. All of the sub factions that came out of Imperial Fists are way cooler. I think that was the purpose of becoming an Imperial Fist sub faction.
Which is like, oh my god.
Or successor chapter.
Cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like African inspired like storytelling. It's super cool.
That is super cool. Last but not least, Bond.
Oh,
with,
sick.
This dude.
Knight Azeros.
Yeah. This is the named character. Kind of ironically, the named character has a helmet on. The non-named character does not have a helmet on. That's virtually the only difference, and we're all going to run it as whatever the hell we want for eternity.
Age of Sigmar, really changing the game up.
That said, I know, right? It's the opposite of what you normally would see. That said, the named character is like a bit better currently than the unnamed character. And dude, I love this model.
Oh yeah, it's great.
I have to say that the Ruination Chamber is my jam. It's the first thing that's made me think that these guys are pretty cool.
Okay, I don't want to get super down on anything.
Let's bring it down a bit. Let's bring it down.
This just should have been Stormcast from the start. This is what they should have always.
Yeah, I mean, heck, tough decision right out of the gate to Legends a whole chamber, but guys, I mean, it is lame. But one, you can keep playing them. Two, Sacristan Chamber is coming back, guys. It's going to be the 5th ed starter box. You know it's going to be the 5th ed starter box, and they're going to look dope, and it's going to be super cool. And you're going to be able to use your old ones. By the way, can we talk about Bond's base?
Yeah, the woods.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because yes, that's what it is. It's like the woods, right? It makes you suddenly realize it's not just grass. It's not just like a grassy battlefield. It's woods. He's like in the woods.
Yeah. So I'm going to be doing my Iron Jaws, so I might be reaching out to Bond for some advice.
Dude, I love that. That's so cool because people don't do that with Iron Jaws. They always do like open plain or they do like gravel-y stuff, which is cool. But I like the idea, Cire, of it. They're like in the woods doing their thing.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well,
there we go.
We are out of time now.
We're out of time. Listen, folks, we've got stuff coming up. Be on the lookout, Cire. You want to tease what's coming out tomorrow?
Sure. You guys like corn?
CORN, of course.
Okay. No. Good. The bad corn. This is why I was talking about las cannons and corn so much.
Yeah.
You can't really see it, so you're gonna have to watch the video.
Yeah. Can we tell them what we did? What you did? We love the resin was so popular in ice that we were like,
It's poured on everything.
That's poured on everything. And that's actually how YouTube works. So, like, we're
Yeah.
excited for this.
So be prepared for resin cast Eternals.
Everything resin from here on out.
Yeah.
And then we have a game Saturday, Age of Sigmar. It's going to be a good one. I'll be producing the game. Brett will be here. He hasn't been on for a bit. Brett will be playing the Cities of Sigmar against John. We asked John, bring anything you want. John's playing a bunch of different armies right now. John is addicted to Flesh Eater Chords. And we, around here we say, we know we just play Monday, but we like people to play what they want to play, what's going to be fun for them to play. John was like, can I bring Flesh Eater Chords? And we're like, we haven't had that matchup. Yes. So, Cities of Sigmar versus Flesh Eater Chords. Brett versus John. That is just such a great combo of dudes. They're both just such lovely guys.
So nice.
And we're going to have to redo the camera because they're both
Because they're so tall.
Yeah. So, we're excited. Okay, Cire, I think we did it. Do you have anything else,
right.
Cire? I think...
No, I think so. Watch the video tomorrow or else.
Watch the video. Okay, with that in mind, we want to say bye to Cire. And thank you to Mandrills. A reminder again to the schedule. Oh, Sunday, Meg and I will be hobbying. I believe we're doing some Endless Spells. If you've watched our streams and you've noticed that we have, we love primal magic around here. And we do, but we also just don't have Morbid Conjurations fully painted. So we're going to change that on Sunday. We're going to paint them up. We're going to have Morbid Conjurations. Right in time for Matt Rose to nerf them again. Should be great. Thank you, everybody. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourselves. Always be creating. Bye, folks.